Assalamu alaikum, and now we are studying the character of Parson from the Prologue to the Canterbury Tales. So the Parson is the most pious and the best character characterized by Geoffrey Chaucer in his Prologue to the Canterbury Tales. Now he says that a good man of religion was there, and he was a poor parson of a town. But he was rich in holy thought and work. He was also a learned man and a religious scholar. He would truly preach Christ's gospel and teach his parishioners devotedly. He was kind and a wonderful hard worker. He was quite patient in adverse circumstances, and such he proved many times. It was very hateful to him to curse people for his tithes. The tithe is the 10th part of the income, just like zakat that is paid to the poor people. On the other hand, without any doubt, he himself used to give money to the poor people of his church, and from his alms and from his possession both. And he could live with very sufficient amount for himself. So Chaucer here talks about a character of a parson, and he doesn't mean that all the parsons were virtuous like him, but yes, the parson represents those good people of religion who were God-fearing and who were noble. This is only an individual character to prove that the church was not totally corrupt. So Chaucer was not content that his ideal priest should be a good shepherd. He must be a good teacher as well. So Wycliffe speaks of men who for 4 pennyworth could curse many thousand souls to hell. But this was a different person. So this person did not curse anyone if someone was paying him any alms or charity or not. Now these lines are very beautiful. Here Chaucer says that his parish was wide and houses were situated on great distance. Though it was rain or thunder, he did not forget to visit the farthest home in his parish of someone who was ill or was in trouble. He did not care whether the sick was rich or poor. He walked to the house having his stick in his hand. He taught his noble example to his sheep. So here the word sheep is meant for the parishioners, the people of church under his domination. That first he practiced and then he taught. So first he practiced the good works and then he taught those to the people. And he took these words from the gospel and added this simile to it, that if gold rusts, what shall iron do? So here he means to convey that priest should be an example. So this priest did not care for the rain or thunder and went to ask after the troubled or sick people regardless of their status. The practiced good deed before his followers, and he taught or advised them to do so. He often said that if gold rust, what shall iron do? That means that if priest himself is corrupt, then his followers will get corrupt in no time. Now he says that if a priest on whom we trust is corrupt, there is no wonder that a common person can be corrupt easily. It is a shame if a priest thinks this way, that the shepherd is dirty but his sheep is clean. So he means to say that it can never be possible that shepherd himself is dirty and the sheep is clean, that the priest is foul and the followers are not foul. So this is not possible. So priest should set an example by his own virtue and purity to teach how his sheep should live, like how the people should live. This is how a priest should teach them, by his own example. He did not seek his own benefice or leave his sheep trapped in mud and run to London, to St. Paul's to get a chantry for donor's soul. Priests used to go together at St. Paul's Cathedral and got alms and then they prayed for the donor souls. So this person never went or ran towards St. Paul. just for the sake of some coins. He did not want to be kept as worker for monetary benefits, but for some guilt. He rather stayed at home and guarded his flock. So flock again means his parishioners, his people, so that no wolf may devastate his flock. So wolf means a corrupt person, corrupt leader. He was a shepherd and not a money maker. Although he was very holy and virtuous, yet he was not contemptuous towards the sinner. So here we are told about this person, the parson, that he never went to London, leaving his flock behind or under another priest who in his absence may corrupt them. So he wanted to take care of his sheep and people, so that when he comes back, he should, or when he is with them, they should be quite well, quite good, and they are intact. So he wanted to take care of all of them. That is why he never went for the sake of some coins or to gather money, like most of the people in those times were busy in doing so. So here the parson is given the image of Jesus Christ. The way Jesus stands holding staff in hand and managing his flock, that represents Israelites. The person is shown to be managing his sheep, which are his parishioners. If a leader is corrupt, the nation is liable to get corrupted. We cannot imagine a corrupt leader leading an honest nation. In some way, a spiritual leader needs to be honest and virtuous, then he must teach his followers. And a chantry was a provision for a priest to sing mass daily and say prayers for the souls. So he did not attend those chantries. The usual remuneration for the 14th century for the chantries was £5 a day, which was given to the priests, but he would never go and take it. The chantry priests were required to be schoolmasters, and running away from many of these chantry schools was considered a crime. So all the people there, they were busy in money making, except for this priest. So he was busy in mending his flock. Now, although this priest was holy and virtuous, yet he was not contemptuous towards the sinners. Neither was his speech dangerous, nor was dignified, and his teachings, in his teaching he was wise and kind. His business was to draw his folk towards heaven by fairness and good example. But if a person was obstinate, whatsoever he was, whether of high or low status, he would snub him sharply on such occasions. I am sure there is nowhere a better priest as he was. He did not wait for pomp and show or respect, nor had he had a bad or corrupt conscience, which was because of spiced bribe, and he only taught the teachings of Christ and his 12 apostles, Christ's 12 selected followers, of whom St. Augustine was the first to bring Christianity to England. So he's talking about them. He taught his parishioners, but first he followed himself what he learned. So here we are told about another good example of the priest, that he did not care for the pomp and show. His attitude was equal towards rich and poor. If a person was obstinate, he did not care for his status and snubbed him openly on his wrongdoings at the very moment. His conscience was pure and virtuous. He did not make it corrupt by taking bribes like most of the priests of the 14th century. Hence, this makes him the best character from the prologue to the Canterbury Tales. So, next character that we will study is of Plowman, who happens to be the brother of this Parson. So, Parson वो करेक्टर है जो कि प्रोलॉग टू द कैंटरबरी टेल्स में से बेस्ट करेक्टर के तौर पे सामने आता है. अच्छा इंसान था और रिलीजियस बंदा था. वो एक गरीब इंसान था और लेकिन उसकी जो सोच थी वो बहुत ज़्यादा रिच थी. उसकी सोच बहुत ज़्यादा नेक थी और उसके अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा ताकत थी. پلس ہی واز اے لرنڈ پرسن, ایک پڑھا لکھا انسان تھا اور رسپانسبل انسان تھا, اپنے لوگوں کا خیال رکھتا تھا. وہ کبھی بھی کسی کو اس بات پہ ڈانٹتا نہیں تھا کہ اسے زکوٰۃ یا خیرات نہیں دی گئی, حالانکہ وہ ڈیزرو کرتا تھا, بلکہ الٹا وہ اپنے پیسوں سے اور اپنی چیزوں سے لوگوں کو زکوٰۃ دیتا تھا, اپنے سے بھی غریب لوگوں کو, اور خود بہت تھوڑے میں گزارا کر لیتا تھا. اس کی پیرش بہت لانگ تھی, سو پیرش وہ ایریا ہوتا ہے جو چرچ کی ڈومینیشن میں آتا ہے, تو کافی بڑی تھی. وہ لوگوں کے گھر خود جاتا تھا پیدل ہیلپ کرنے کے لیے, اور اس پریسٹ کے پاس ایک سٹک ہوتی تھی, اور اس سٹک کو وہ اپنے یوز کرتا تھا اسٹوڈنٹس کے ساتھ. لائک یہ کوئی ڈراوے کے لیے سٹک نہیں تھی, اٹ واز اے سٹک آف لیڈرشپ. تو جو شیپ ہے وہ اس کے اسٹوڈنٹس سے, فالوورس سے, جن کو وہ گائیڈ کرتا تھا اچھے راستے میں, اچھی ایگزامپلس دے کے. اور اس کی ایگزامپل اف گولڈ رسٹ واٹ شیل آئرن ڈو از کوائٹ فیمس, اور یہ بڑے ایون سی ایس ایس کے ایگزام میں بھی پیراگراف لکھنے کے لیے یہ لائن یوز ہوتی ہے. تو اس کا مطلب ہے کہ جب ایک وہ بندہ غلطی کر جائے جسے ہم ایکسپیکٹ نہیں کرتے, تو وہ عام بندہ تو غلطی کر جائے گا. تو وہ لوگ جو کہ ہمارے لیڈرز ہیں ریلیجیس لیول پہ, جن کو ہم سمجھتے ہیں کہ یہ دین سکھاتے ہیں, اگر وہی کرپٹ نکلیں گے تو ان کو فالو کرنے والے کیا کریں گے؟ Then he does not go to St. Paul's church living class in another hands to be corrupted, کہ وہ سینٹ پال میں جہاں پہ لوگ جاتے تھے اور مرے ہوئے لوگوں کی روح کے لیے دعائیں مانگتے تھے, اور انہیں روز کے حساب سے 5 پاؤنڈز ملتے تھے, جو کہ اس زمانے میں بڑی رقم تھی. لیکن یہ اس چیز کو چھوڑ کے نہیں جاتا تھا, کیونکہ پیچھے اسے اپنی پیرش, اپنا چرچ کسی اور بندے کو دینا پڑتا, جو ممکن ہے کہ اس کی غیر موجودگی میں لوگوں کو خراب کرتا, ان کو غلط ٹیچنگز دیتا. تو یہ ایک مٹیریلسٹک انسان نہیں تھا, یہ اپنے فلاک کا خیال رکھتا تھا. وہ سینر سے بھی نفرت نہیں کرتا تھا, ہاں انہیں ڈانٹتا تھا اگر وہ کوئی غلط کام کرتے. He was rather a brave person, اور وہ سینرز کو بغیر اس چیز کا خیال کیے کہ وہ رچ ہے یا پور ہیں, انہیں صحیح راستے پہ ڈانٹ کے لے کے آتا. And he was devotedly teaching morality to all the people.